Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to What Shall We Do Next. And today I wanted to do something which I haven't done in a while, and that is a motivational video. As you guys know, I used to do a series called Motivational Monday, and I used to post a motivational video every Monday, and then I kind of stopped that because I just wasn't feeling like mentally I wasn't in the right place myself. I was just going downhill with my mental health. I was very depressed, and it just seemed kind of hypocritical of me to be making Motivational Monday videos trying to motivate you guys when I didn't even have an ounce of motivation myself. However, recently I've been thinking a lot differently, and I've been focusing more on myself and self-improvement and that kind of thing, and finding happiness, and I've been thinking a lot about life, and I've been a little bit more optimistic, whereas I was always like a pessimist. I was always thinking like, life sucks, I'm never gonna be happy, I'm never gonna have this, I'm never gonna have that, I'm never gonna like achieve this, or I'm never gonna be here where I want to be, that kind of thing. And I've been like that for a very long time, and life has just continuously, just gradually bittered me more and more and more, like every single day. And I've just been doing a lot of thinking, especially last night, and I've been thinking a lot about like life, the meaning of life. What is this? What are we doing here? And it really got me thinking, even if there is no like God, or, the universe is giving us signs, that kind of thing, like a lot of people believe in it. And I'm very open minded to that kind of thing. Like, I am very skeptical myself. I wouldn't say like I believed in God. I wouldn't say I believed in the universe giving like signs or like manifestation, that kind of things. I'm putting it out there. I'm manifesting it by vocalizing it. Like, I want this to happen. I want this to happen. I'm manifesting it. I don't believe in that, honestly. I'm open to it. I want to believe in that kind of thing because it is nice to know if that stuff is real. It's nice to know if there is a God and that he loves me and that he's all forgiving and he has a plan for me. But the more I look around at the world and I just see this dark, negative, like evil place, the place is overrun by evil, if anything. I don't see much things that's godly about the world in the condition that it's in. And I've really been thinking a lot. That's kind of what like got me down in the first place, just seeing all this negativity around me all the time. It was getting more and more hard and like rare for me to find something that was actually positive about the world. It was like finding a needle in a haystack. That's the way it was. Like, it felt like the needle was the positivity, and it was extremely difficult to find. But my mindset has shifted a lot lately, and I've been thinking so much more, and I've been like really working on myself, like mentally. And that included like making YouTube videos again, like actually getting back into a healthy routine, not worrying so much about things that just aren't important. Like, I genuinely love YouTube. I love making videos, but I was getting hard on myself because I was thinking, I was getting insecure. I was starting to think like, am I getting too old to be a YouTuber? Is it not cool anymore? Maybe I should like stop it altogether. Maybe it's just embarrassing at this point. I love it, but it's just embarrassing. Maybe this is why I can't find a wife. This is why I can't have that like family life that I want, and have my own wife and my own kids and have my own home and that kind of thing. Like, maybe this is why. Maybe I'm just following the wrong path, but I love this, and I don't know what I would do without YouTube and that kind of thing. And it was kind of like a constant war in my head of like, I love this so much, but I need to stop it because it's stopping me from having the normal life that everybody has. After I told you guys I went to Madrid recently, I came back from that trip, and I feel like I said in that video, that it was like a much needed trip. Like, I really needed that. I needed to be alone for a week. And not only that, but like honestly, meeting Samara Lee at that HorrorCon event really was so much more to me than I thought it would be. I thought it was literally just going to be like, oh, I'm going to get to meet Annabelle, and I'm going to get a photo with her. I'm going to get some autographs from her. It's going to be lit. But it turned into like an actual, like, just meeting somebody from the movie. And movies, like I said, horror movies are one of the things that I just love the most in this world. I've never met a celebrity before, so to meet somebody from the actual, like, my favorite movie, and just seeing how she was in real life, completely changed the way I thought of things and like the world and people. To see how normal she is in real life. Like, to me, she seemed normal, but she was actually very similar to me. She was very like kind of a nerdy like horror fan herself. She didn't seem like a diva or a celebrity or anything like that. She was just real cool, real nerdy, and just owned it. And she loved it. And I was thinking, it just reminded me of myself in a way. And I was like thinking, if she can do that, if she can like own it, that she's kind of unique and weird and like is into kind of this dark stuff, why can't I? Why can't I just accept and embrace who I am, instead of constantly hating myself all the time and trying to change who I am to appeal to more people that just can't relate to me because they're not my people. But I just didn't like being alone, so I was desperately trying to do something to kind of change myself so I could be more normal. And the thought of having to do that weighed on me heavily. Like, it was very difficult to even think, like, I'm going to have to stop everything that I love. I'm going to have to give up all of my passions because they're not normal. And I need to start being normal, like be into whatever everybody else is into, that kind of thing. And it's just everything. Those are just a couple of examples of what I've been dealing with for years, but it's like that with everything. The way I look, the way I feel, the way I think, like the way I talk to people, like everything. This last week, I've really been feeling better in the sense that I feel mentally stronger. I feel like one of my biggest fears was always being alone. And I would say recently, I've been feeling a little bit more like people are holding me back, which sounds kind of mean. It's like going from one extreme to the other, but now I'm literally like, I like to be alone now. It's like the time that I can focus on improving myself, working on things that matter to me, not having to put on a fake person to be around like other people, that kind of thing. And it's just like, I can be my genuine self. I don't have to be a people pleaser. I don't have to act like a certain way to get people to like me. I can just be myself and let the people who will like me just come naturally. And I've been thinking a lot more like, wow, being alone isn't as bad as I used to think it is. In fact, I kind of like it. Like, I'm thriving in this right now. And I never thought I would ever say that. But I'm getting more done. Not just like with YouTube and things like that, but like mentally and like in my real life. Like, I actually have plans now. Before, I had nothing. Like, I had nothing planned. And now I feel like I broke that cycle of just being trapped, living the same day every day, the same old dark, depressing day. Now I feel like I've kind of broke that curse. And I'm free. And it's like, I used to be scared to do anything alone. So even if I wanted to do things, like I wanted to go to a place, like for example, I went all the way to Madrid alone. I did that. Before, I would have missed out on that opportunity to meet Samara Lee because nobody would come with me, and I don't want to do it alone. I hate being alone. But I just kind of changed. I snapped, I guess. I was just like, fuck it. I don't care if I'm alone or not. I want to do this, and I'm going to do it, with or without anybody else. And I did it alone. And honestly, I feel like anybody who would have came with me would have just been holding me back. I went there with a mission. It was like a mission. I went there with something in mind that I had to accomplish, and I did it. But I feel like if somebody else had have been there, it would have slowed me down or held me back from like completing what I went there for. You know what I mean? It sounds kind of crazy, but like that's just an example. I wouldn't even go to the movie theater alone. I wouldn't do anything alone because I just hated being alone. But now it's like, I feel like since I did that, it's like I like to do things alone now. And I have something else coming up. I'm not going to announce it yet, but I hopefully have something else coming up pretty soon. And I'm going to do it alone. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about, is like, if you're sitting around like I was and you're just waiting for somebody to come knocking on your door and give you happiness on a plate, it's not going to happen. Nobody ever said you were meant to be happy in this world, honestly. Being happy is nice. Everybody wants that. I think that is one thing that everybody seeks to accomplish in their life, is happiness. Everybody has different versions of happiness, and that can sometimes lead us to fight and disagree, especially with politics and, different beliefs and stuff like that. But we are all in search of the same thing. We're all in search of happiness. One thing I've learned myself is that if you're sitting around and you're waiting for somebody to come to give you happiness, you're not going to get it. You're going to be waiting for a very, very long time. And before you know it, you'll realize nobody's coming at all. Even if you have a girlfriend, even if you have a boyfriend, if you're married, you have kids, you have a family, like, we are all alone. Maybe we're not physically alone. We have friends and family, as do I, but we are alone. We're alone in the sense that it's up to you and only you to find and make your own happiness. Like I said, if you're waiting around for somebody to come knocking at your door to give you happiness on a plate, Nobody's coming knocking on your door. Nobody is coming knocking on your door. The universe doesn't owe you anything. You're not entitled to happiness. I'm not entitled to happiness. Nobody is. It's not something that you're just owed just for being born. And it's not something that's magically going to happen to you by sitting around waiting for it. It's never going to happen. If you want to be happy, you have to dig deeper into yourself, figure it out. And it could be like very, very hard. In fact, it might even seem impossible to some of you. But trust me, I've been there. And sometimes all it takes is like something spontaneous, maybe a little trip to Madrid. I don't know. Whatever works for you, you just reach a point where you're like ready to snap. That's where I was at. And just do whatever it is that's right in front of you at that moment. Whatever opportunity presents itself in that moment, and you're just like, I want to do that, but I didn't want to do it alone, or I don't really have the money, I can't really be spending. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it, honestly. It will be good for you. You will come back different. You will feel, I want to say, like, you will literally feel free. You will feel liberated from the shackles of your own brain and your own way of thinking. Just try it. That's all I wanted to say for this video. I just was really thinking about this recently, and I've been thinking, like, I am so different now mentally. I'm still trying to I'm trying to adapt to it, my new way of thinking, but I'm so sure that I can do this now. Like, I'm so sure that I can do the simple things like travel. I can go to the movie theater alone. I can go and eat at a restaurant alone. Like, I'm not afraid of being alone anymore. I could do these things alone. But I feel less lonely than I did before, even when I was doing those things with people. Just because I was doing them with people where I was having to kind of put on a certain personality just so I could vibe with them. Matching my surroundings, I guess. And that's not to say cut off all your friends and stuff like that. Like, I love my friends, I love my family. But, you know, there are some things that you can actually accomplish alone. You don't need somebody to hold your hand and walk you through life. Sometimes you just got to do it alone. And honestly, it can be the best thing you've ever done, because you will realize the potential of your capabilities and like the things you are capable of. You will realize your full potential. And so I just wanted to talk about this a little, and hopefully if it can help even just one person, then I did my job. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope this video made you think or made you feel any better. Pretty much it. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out and chase your dreams.